Hi, my name is Blanchet-Saint-Jean and I am presently in my leather MOSAIC studio in Montreal. I would like first to thank very warmly the Benedictine nuns of the Abbaye Sainte-Marie des Deux Montagnes for their generosity towards me and for agreeing to participate in the preservation of the work of Jean Blanchet. I would also like to thank very warmly my cousin and friend, Monsieur Sylvain Léger, for agreeing to be our generous cameraman for this video series. Thank you very much, Sylvain.
It's a pleasure for me.
I greet all the people who will watch this video, and especially all the designer bookbinders in the world, because I am making these videos primarily for them. I intend to publish many videos in which I will unveil the leather mosaic technique of my master, Jean Blanchet, a Canadian designer bookbinder who worked in Montreal from 1930 until his death in 1993. I also intend to reveal some techniques that I have developed during the 23 years I worked in the field of bookbinding from 1976 until 1999. I recently posted on the Facebook page dedicated to Jean Blanchet some information about my current project. My first video series completes that information. It is only in my next video series that I am going to start performing a leather mosaic before you. I invite you to visit my tribute page to Jean Blanchet on Facebook. The name of that page is Reliure d'Art Jean Blanchet Hardbinding, and its URL is facebook.com/Reliure d'Art. I will post the link to that page at the end of all my videos. This first video series is also a repetition to help me be a little better prepared for the making of my next videos, because this is the first time I design and produce videos. I'll show you how I sharpen my paring blade and how I pare leather to make my mosaics. This is the very first technique to master if you want to create leather mosaic using the Blanchet-Saint-Jean technique. I call the Jean Blanchet technique this way because I brought two major improvements to it. I will talk about them in my next video series. I undertook to produce my first video series in French and in English. The introduction text I read you now is the same for both versions. However, all the videos were filmed separately and all my comments were improvised. The English version is therefore somewhat different from the French version. So for today, let's start by examining the paring blade that I use. This is a hardened steel strip of 1/16 of an inch thick, 2 millimeters, 2 inches wide, 5 centimeters, and 7 inches long, 18 centimeters. It was back in the 90s that I asked a friend who was a machinist to make me 5 blades like this. It is very easy to sharpen, and it can perform just about all types of leather paring work in the field of bookbinding. If you wish to try to work with such a blade, be sure to ask your machinist to use a hardened steel of 50 HRC of hardness or 450 on the Brinell scale. This hardness is midway between the softest steel and the hardest steel. If you choose a steel too soft, you will lose your edge quickly, and if you choose a steel too hard, you will have some difficulty sharpening your blade. I have not tried all the different steel hardness, but I can assure you that a steel blade of 50 HRC of hardness is an excellent choice for paring leather. So now if you want, I'll show you how I sharpen my blade. I use a little tool that I bought years back, which is a tool that they sell on the market for sharpening the old style planes. I think that's how we call them, planes, or rabot en français. And it's a very simple tool with the wheel in the back and the knob here to tighten the blade, secure the blade onto the tool. So depending on the angle that you want to give to your sharpening, you can either lower or put the blade at different position, and you can also go up and down with the part of the wheel. Now I sharpen my blade, I guess, just like anybody does. I don't have any special technique for it. It's the way you can find different ways of doing it on internet, but this is the standard way. I use water stones. I put water on my stones. Always put water on your stone and push forward on your blade. Simply, always going one direction against comment tu dirais le tranchant, Sylvain? Against the sharpening, and you go like this till you get your proper angle. Then you can work with the flat surface of the blade, going like this to get rid of the burr as much as possible. Even though I work with the burr, when I go through the sharpening process, I suggest to get rid of the burr as much as possible. Yeah, I've been using my good blade here. Okay, so I'll carry on then. I'll have to do that like very seriously. I was going to use another blade for the demonstration and keep my good blade for showing you how to pare the leather, but now that I made the mistake of using my already perfectly sharpened blade for paring leather, I'm going to have to bring it back to where I want it. So I put my blade on the proper angle, putting the angle straight on my stone, and then I put my piece of equipment here to match that angle, and then I have to bring it a little bit like this. I think I'm just about right here. Okay, and then I can go like this on the 1000 grid. So this first blade, this first stone is about maybe 700 grid or something like that. This one is a 1000 grid Japanese water stone. There you go. So you can go like that for a while. I'm not going to go through all the process, but you should eventually get a perfect edge on the blade. I'm just going to make sure now that I have a good cutting blade for showing you how I pare the leather. How's that? Okay, I'm going to bring it up a bit to get a better burr, because I like to work with the burr. So the other stone is a 6000 grit stone, and that stone is to polish actually the sharpening a little more and to get a better cutting edge. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Proper word. I'm French, so excuse me if my English is not perfect, but I'm trying my best to explain properly everything here. How does that look like? Do I get... Yeah, I'm getting the burr that I like to get. So if you want to sharpen and get a perfect edge, you'll do this, then you'll go back on the other side and and sharpen that one on the flat surface. Then go back to your sharpening side and do it on the 6000 grid stone and finish off with that. Me, I'm going to stop here for today because I want to keep that little burr that I got on it to pair the leather, because I've been working 23 years using the burr to pair the leather, and I've tried to I got that blade to be perfectly sharpened without any more burr on it, and I started working with that, and it didn't feel right, so I tried again with the burr, and it works much better. So I'll show you now how it goes pairing leather with the burr. Alright, so we'll put those aside. I keep my stones in water like the manufacturers suggest we should do. So I got a container here, and I keep the stones in the water. So they're always ready to be used whenever I need to sharpen my blade.